All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another WNBA video. My last WNBA video did pretty well, all things considered, one of my most viewed videos in a while. And I had said in my NBA video yesterday about the draft, I said there's gonna be no videos tomorrow and Wednesday. Draft, I'm gonna take the day off. And then I thought about it, and there was some WNBA stuff today. There's some stuff going on, and I said, why not? You guys seem to like the WNBA content, so who am I but somebody to just give you guys what you want, and you guys obviously want more WNBA stuff. And there's some stuff buzzing. There's some stuff going on around the league. We're about a quarter of the way through, so I just want to do a little wrap up, talk about the Dewana Bonner situation that was breaking the last couple days. Um, Big news broke today, so we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about a couple of teams. We're going to go through the standings, obviously, but the big ones I want to hit are the Fever, the Indiana Fever, the Phoenix Mercury, the Las Vegas Aces, the New York Liberty, the Chicago Sky, the Seattle Storm, and the Washington Mystics, in that order. So if you want to skip through and if you want to skip through and try to find them, I'll spend a couple minutes on everybody, but we're gonna jump right into it with the Dewana Bonner situation. I was gonna pull up her game logs, and now that I am recording, I had forgotten to do it. So let's pull up her game logs here. Dewana Bonner, huge offseason acquisition for the Indiana Fever, was supposed to be um, a veteran presence in the locker room. Seemed very good on paper, a very good signing on paper. Um, she's 37, has a lot of experience in her 15th NBA season. Um, Season averages so far of 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. I believe she had been coached by Stephanie White previously to this year, in another situation. So she was familiar with the system and what was going to happen. I say these things because um, it came out that, well, the story was that she had stepped away from the team for personal reasons the last couple games. She had missed a handful of them. Um, if I go look at them here, she missed the last 5 games for personal reasons, and that started on the 10th of this month. And now it is the last game they've played was the 24th. So they have played a few many games, and there have been a lot of questions of where was she, what was happening, but also at the same time, there was a lot of, oh, you need to respect your privacy and all this and all that. And um, I never put much stock into it. I had heard some rumblings that she was not happy with her role on the team, the minutes she was getting. Looking at her game logs here, I mean, there's 20 at the beginning of the season, 27 minutes, 16, 19, 23, 25, 22, 21, 19, 20. Um, and at least from me watching this Indiana Fever team, and I think what everybody knew, and I think what um, the front office people wanted was this team to run, this team to be more athletic, um, faster pace, play the way Caitlin Clark wants to play because that's your star player. And Dewana never seemed comfortable in that role. At times, she looked really good when Caitlin was off the floor, when they could slow down the pace a little bit, still push it at times, but Dewana could get into her bag. Um, Pretty decent 3 point shooter. I mean, she started the season terribly. Could not make a three. She didn't make one until they played Washington. They lost that game as well. She made two, then she made three the game after that, and then one, two, and one, so on and so forth. Um, I I saw the vision when they signed her. I saw the vision. I really did. I saw the vision. I said this is great veteran presence, somebody for Aaliyah Boston to lean on. And funnily enough, Aaliyah Boston had a career game the other night against Las Vegas when Dewana Bonner wasn't there. um, and I had some questions about Aaliyah Boston, sort of, is she going to have that edge to her? Can Dewana and anybody else sort of bring it out of her, so to speak? They brought on another big. I'm so bad with names. I'm so sorry. They brought on Natasha Howard also to try to mentor Aaliyah Boston, and I don't know what I there was a bunch of conspiracy theories about what happened, what's happening. All I want to say is within that time, I don't know if Aaliyah Boston saw, hey, I I'm the franchise big, I get the most touches, and this is everything. Um, this is everything I need right now. And Caitlyn and Aaliyah were passing that rock. They were hitting each other in in space and in pace. And to look at Tawana Bonner in that role, she didn't seem too comfortable with Caitlin Clark, not comfortable within the system. And it had came out 20 hours ago, not even a full day ago. This is from Yahoo Sports. Annie Costalabello, Annie, shout out Annie from Yahoo Sports. Um, Breaking news: Tawana Bonner has no interest in returning to play for the Fever. Sources indicate that Bonner preferred landing spots with the Phoenix Mercury, or the Atlanta Dream. That it came out, and then that fueled a bunch of speculation about what happened, what's happening, and then it, this broke about 4 hours ago um, from Cole Peterson on Twitter. The Fever are waiving Dewana Bonner, league sources told the Indy Star, and then will re-sign Ariel McDonald. Bonner requested a trade after feeling she couldn't find a role on the team, sources said, but Indiana could not find a suitable trade option. So they did filter trades for about, I guess, maybe 15 hours, um, maybe less, and then they said they couldn't find anything, so they just waived her. Um, and then it became official from ESPNW that they had waived Dewana Bonner and they had signed Aria McDonald, who was great in her stint with the team previously, and they had to let her go for roster reasons. They couldn't find a roster spot for her, and now they did. And this might be a stroke of good fortune for the Fever, for somebody in Dewana Bonner who, quite frankly, didn't want to be there, I guess, at this point. And somebody who is a real baller and can take over that role when Caitlin's off the floor for them, and Aria McDonald. And I think it's a stroke of good fortune. I don't think there's any I don't think there's anything else to this. The only other thing that I saw was that there was a conspiracy theory that Dewana Bonner wanted to sign with the Mercury, but the Mercury didn't have the money to do it. And she was previously with the Mercury, also. Um, she previously played for the Mercury. The Mercury had a huge shakeup. We talked about that previously. We don't need to get into it right now. Um, and so she signed with the Fever, and it seemed like everything was well. This is where the conspiracy theory gets wild: is that the Fever could sign her for more money because they have more space, and if they were to trade her or waive her, they the Mercury wouldn't have to take on that money, that extra money. The Fever would still have to pay her. So in lieu of the waiving, the Fever still have to pay her, and Dewana Bonner can sign a mid-level exception, so to speak, and she can go back to the Mercury and play with um her former team now. What should be, I guess, the cat's out of the bag is will be her current team again. So that is it for Dewana Bonner and the Indiana Fever. Um, will she be missed? I have the feeling that she hadn't been around. I know that she hadn't been around for maybe, what is that, 5 games, and she wasn't missed. They went 3-2 in those last 5 games, so I don't think they were missing her at all. Boston had a career game. Boston's been putting up not career high, but high game high in points and rebounds. I mean, you look at the games that Bonner missed. You got a Caitlin Clark 32, you got a Caitlin Clark 20, you got a Boston 17, you got a Boston 26, and then most recently, oh, pardon me, the career high was against Seattle, 31 points. And then Boston consistently has double doubles in a lot of these games. So I don't think it's a huge blow for the Indiana Fever. Looking forward for the Indiana Fever, let's see here. We're a bit of a ways away from All-Star break. We'll cover. We'll see here. They play the Sparks. They play Dallas. That's gonna be a good one. That should be on prime time, dude. Paige versus Caitlin. That should be a good one. They play Las Vegas. They play Los Angeles again. That the Las Vegas and Los Angeles are a start of a homestand, and they play the Valkyries, and then they play Atlanta. Um, I think they'll manage okay. I don't think it doesn't make a difference whether Joanna Bonner's there or not. I think Ariel McDonald's gonna make a huge difference. Again when Caitlin's off the floor, and just overall as a as an extra ball handler that you can actually trust. Because Sydney Colson has done a surprisingly good job, but I don't want Sydney Colson playing a lot of minutes if I'm a championship um, hopeful team. Now moving on to the Mercury, who have been on a tear recently. They are on a what is this? A 5 game winning streak. Against some pretty competent teams and some pretty bad teams, but you take your wins where you can get them. I had them projected in my preseason video as a really good team. For some reason, like they had places had them middle of the pack. Right now, they're the third best team in the WNBA. They're 1 game ahead of the Mercury and 2 games ahead of the Seattle Storm, who we're going to talk about later. Um, Surprising stuff, man. I am very happy that I called that early. Satu. Um, oh my god, I always butcher her last name. I always try to say it and then oh my god, I'm gonna have to look it up. Sabali. It's a tongue twister because it's Satu Sabali. It's a double S sound. Um, is really good. I had a feeling she was gonna be really good. Um, this season, coming off her season last year in Dallas, now in a new situation in Phoenix. Shout out to the head coach too. Doing a wonderful job. They only have what is this a one, two, three, four losses on the season, and they were to Seattle, Minnesota again, and then Seattle. These are all excusable losses in my eyes. I'm going through the last couple games here. Versus they played um, Dallas, that was a home game, and the next couple I'm going to mention are away games in Las Vegas, in Connecticut, in New York, and in Chicago. Um, in this 5 game winning streak, Satu has had 2 20-point games, um, has had a 15 rebound game. Um, Alyssa Thomas with 10 assists, 13 assists, 11 assists, 7 assists, 8 assists, leading the team as the pseudo playmaker, I guess. Um, Thomas also had a 14-point game against Connecticut. I believe that's her old team. Um, and they're just cooking, man. They're doing really good stuff. If I just take a look at their last game here um, for Chicago, and we go look at the box score here. Well, not the box score, the made and miss shots. Um, it looks really good. It's a well-rounded effort. There's a lot of corner shots here. There's a lot of shots on the far side of the floor. There's a couple misses on the left side of the floor, but you look closer to the paint, you look closer to the mid range. Not too many mid rangers, looking like they missed a lot of shots by the basket. Um, but when you're going against two bigs like Angel Reese and Camila, that's to be expected. But that's when you have to rely on your other game, which is the 3 point game. And as a team, I mean, um, if you look at their team stats here, um, uh, I wish it would tell me. I found the shooting splits. The shooting splits around the team are pretty good. You have Kalia Copper shooting 38% from three, Sammy Whitcomb shooting 32. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. I'm so sorry. 41. Lexi Healed, 31. Um, Monique, 44. Uh, Kalani Brown, 40. Um, some of these probably aren't on the best attempts. If we look at the attempts, yeah, there's only let's see, one, two, three people that take 4+ threes. or 5 plus threes, and then there's an extra couple that take 4 plus threes. So there's some shooters on this team. Satu shooting an abysmal 26% from three, but she's taken 6 of them. She's making one. It's just a part of the game that has to develop for her. I think that's really the next step for Satu. There is hitting the three ball at a consistent rate. And hey, Asia Wilson, 3-time MVP, does not shoot the three ball well. Does not take a lot of threes, and she's a 3-time MVP. So I mean, the league is trending more to the 3 point revolution that the NBA had a couple years ago. I think we're in the 3 point revolution of the WNBA. But all things considered, I think Phoenix Mercury have done a great job, and they weren't a surprise to me. They might be a surprise for a lot of other people. Not a surprise for me at all. Um, Moving on to the next team, which is Las Vegas. Las Vegas has been predictably pretty bad. Biased as a fan, I thought they were going to be a little bit better. They're not. They're not doing great. What are they on the season? They are fifth in the Western Conference. They're 6-7, one game below 500. They have losses to Phoenix, Minnesota, Seattle. They had a win against Indiana, close win against Indiana. Um, but these are teams you need to beat. You need to beat Phoenix. You need to beat Minnesota. You need to beat Seattle. Even though they've played Seattle 3 times already, they've only won one of those matchups, and they've lost to teams like Connecticut, Washington. Um, oh, they won. Pardon me. They won against teams like Connecticut, Washington, but they can't seem to get wins against these really high caliber good teams. And looking forward to their schedule, I mean, there's no breaks. It's the WNBA. There aren't a lot of teams to play. You're gonna have to play teams over and over and over again. They're gonna play Connecticut in their next game. They're gonna play Washington. They're gonna play Phoenix. They're gonna play Indiana, Connecticut, New York, Washington, Golden State, Dallas, Atlanta, Indiana, Minnesota, Dallas, Los Angeles. There's no breaks here. I mean, you could consider Connecticut and Dallas and Washington maybe a little bit of a break, but I'm not seeing. There's only one. There's a back to back in here against Indiana, and then they go right to Minnesota. That's gonna be terrible. That's gonna be a tough one for them. I am not very hopeful about this team. I was banging on my table that they need to get a big. They need to get a big. I like Asia Wilson at the five. I really do, but she's not a full time five. And you look at this roster, and I've looked at this roster so many times. Um, you have so many guards, and Jewel Lloyd is finally finding her spots here. But you have to, like I can't be convinced that Kia Stokes is the full time five. It's not the answer. She's just not. She's not. I've watched her play for however many years she's been in Las Vegas. She's not the answer, dude. I don't know why. I don't know why Becky Hammond keeps rolling it out, thinking it's gonna work. She has her moments, but man, it's so frustrating. It's just so frustrating that. And you got Megan Gustafone, okay, serviceable, not a full time five. Um, Chenea Parker, who plays five sometimes for him, not a five really. And you got a bunch of guards. And Dana Evans has had pretty good games. Chelsea Gray had a great game against Indiana. Again, Jewel Lloyd is finding her footing on this team. Jackie Young is okay at times, but man, this team is rough to watch sometimes. When they played Indiana, I was very surprised they beat Indiana in the fashion they did. Because Indiana had the ball snap and they were really good. And then experience won out in that game, I think. Becky did a good job coaching that game, but overall, I think it's been a pretty blast season, and this might be a season to forget for us Las Vegas Aces fans here. um, Asia Wilson is leading in 4 statistical categories. She's leading in blocks with 2. She's leading in steals with almost 2. She's leading in rebounds with almost 10, and she's leading in points with 21. Chelsea Gray bringing up the assists with 3. That's the other thing with this team. If your leading assist player is only at 3, there's a problem. That means the ball isn't moving. That means there isn't another distributor on this team. Um, there's only, let's see, one, two, three, four, five people on this team with more than one assist, averaging more than one assist. awful, awful, just bad. Um, yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on to the New York Liberty, who came out the gates hot. Since their loss to Indiana, which I talked about in my previous video, was maybe it was the one before that. They've been on a bit of a skid. They got a win in Atlanta, a tight win, 986 to Atlanta's 81. Um, Sabrina had 34 in that game. Sabrina's been on a pretty good tear. Um, 34-point game in Indiana, 34 points again in Atlanta. They have been dealing with some injuries. Jonquel Jones, their finals MVP, the, the lady in the middle, holding down the defense, is projected to be out. I think it was what, 5 to 6 weeks, something around that, and you can really feel it. They lost to the Mercury. They lost to Seattle. Um, not great games. If we just go back to this Phoenix game, it happened on the 19th. We go look at the box score here. Um, they lost that game to the Phoenix Mercury's 89 to their 81. Um, you look at what Phoenix did. Elisa Thomas 18, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Satu 15 points, 4 turnovers, not great. Sammy Whitcomb 16, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Monique 21. Is that Akoa Keeney? I don't even know how to say that. I'm so sorry. And then Kalia Copper did not play this game. Megan McConnell did not play this game. She's been out. Um, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Um, Brianna Stewart, great game, 35 points. I thought she was going to be bad this season. She's playing very well. She has 6 turnovers, 3 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Oh, look at that! Jonquel Jones is back. I did not even realize she was back. That's how like what is it called? I don't want to say ineffective, but like, when did she come back? Let's see. I'm so sorry. That is false information. She has been back. Why did I read that report that she was out 5 to 6 weeks? Huh. Okay. My mistake. Jonquel Jones, 2 points, 4 rebounds. My points exactly. Only 9 minutes. So it looks like she's on a minutes restriction, which is interesting. Um, Natasha Cloud 8, and then my girl Sabrina, man. I talked about it in another one of my videos. I don't I just don't like the way she's playing on this team. And I just read to you she had two 34-point games back to back, and then she dropped 16. And she took 16 shots and made 3 of them, only made 1 3. 9 free throws, 6 assists, 3 steals, 5 turnovers. Ugh, yuck. Um, yeah. Again, when I talk about Las Vegas, when I talk about New York, these are the top sort of teams coming into the year, at least. You need to beat these guys. You need to beat the Mercury because the Mercury are good. You need to beat teams like the Mercury, like um, if I can pull it up here, like Seattle, like Indiana, even though they're 500 on the season, like Atlanta, who is surprising me this year. Um, you need to beat these teams, man, because they remember this stuff. They will call back on this if you get to like the finals or the conference finals and be like, oh, um, we beat them on this day, and this is how we did it, and they can call back on that and reference that. You just can't give them these opportunities to do that. Looking forward for New York. Um, Again, it's not easy for them. Oh boy, here we go. They play Golden State in Golden State. They play Phoenix in Phoenix. They play Atlanta. Then they have a huge homestand, which would help them greatly, because their players are complaining about back-to-backs and everything now, and more games. Um, they play. This is all at home. They play Los Angeles. They play Seattle. They play Las Vegas again. They play Atlanta. They play Indiana back-to-back in a baseball series. They play the Phoenix again, and they play Los Angeles, and then they go on the road for a little bit. Um, these are teams that have beaten you already. These are teams that know how to beat you. Golden State whooped your butt back to back, and you play them again on the 25th. That is today at 10. So it's going to be an interesting little stretch here up until about the 26th of July. We'll see where they are in a month if they can improve at all or keep this going at any rate. Next team we want to talk about that's shown some positive steps. I made a whole video about them a couple days ago. Um, by positive, I mean they still haven't won a lot of games, but they've been trending in the right direction. Um, the Chicago Sky, they won on the 15th. This is 10 days ago against Connecticut. A Haley Van Lith 16-point game. Angel Reese. Is this her triple double game? This might have been her triple double game where because she had 13 rebounds and 11 assists. If I go look at this, did she have at least 10 points? She did. Yes, this was her triple double game. So turning it around for Angel Reese. We won't dive too deep into the numbers, but a good game for them. And then they had a 3-game losing streak, but more positively, a Cardoso, 18 points, 10 rebound game, a little bit more aggressive. Um, Not a big rebounding game at all in this Phoenix Mercury game, but Cardoso again had 17 and 3 rebounds. They lost against Atlanta. Atkins, 29-point game for Chicago. Angel Reese, 19 rebound game, 4 assists. Um, and then they most recently won against the Los Angeles Sparks. And Cardoso had 27, Angel Reese had 17, and Reese had 6 assists. Now, I want to make this abundantly clear for everybody out there who had like questions of how Coach Marshall was using Angel Reese. He wanted to use Angel Reese as a distributor, as more of a Draymond Green type out of the post, bringing the ball up. I don't think she should be bringing the ball up, but that's neither here nor there. I want you to look at these last couple games where Courtney Vandersloot has been out. She's out for the rest of the season, and everybody's had to pick up the slack a little bit. Angel Reese 11 assist game. Angel Reese 4 assists, 6 assists. I think she can be a great, not great, a passable offensive hub for this team. 11 points, 11 assists, 11 points, 11 rebounds on the season. If she could get up to 5 assists, I think that would be huge. I think that would be amazing for this team and going further into her career. If she could get somewhere near like up in points and up in rebounds and then keep the assists up, I think that'd be incredible. That'd be incredible for this team, especially with Cardosa being a bit more aggressive. I'd love it for this team. Looking forward on their schedule. They actually have a bit of an easier part after these next 3 games. They're going to be on the road. They're going to Golden State to play the Valkyries. They're going to Los Angeles to play the Sparks, and they're going to Minnesota to play Nafisa Collier, the MVP favorite. In Minnesota, they play Washington, who they they lost against, but it was a close game. That was on the 17th. Could they get some momentum back there at the end of the road trip? Perhaps. And then Dallas, back to back in Minnesota, Atlanta, Minnesota. Damn, they play Minnesota a lot, but they're gonna get their freaking butts kicked a bunch of times. They play Seattle. So you only got a couple games in here where you could try to steal them against Los Angeles, Washington, and Dallas, and then it's a gauntlet towards the end here of the July and end of July. So we'll see. To take a break here, because coming up, we're going to talk about Seattle, who's been playing their butts off, and we're going to talk about Washington a little bit. Let's take a look at these award races very quickly. Just take a little break from yapping about the teams and talk about some players. The MVP favorite right now, this is the betting odds by FanDuel Sportsbook. Shout out FanDuel. Nafisi Collier is leading it. Caitlin Clark bringing it up. And then Brianna Stewart. Asia Wilson not favored at all. Sabrina Wisconsin not favored at all. At least Thomas is in here, surprisingly. And I think it's Nafisa's award to lose, man. I mean, Caitlin Clark might get some real buzz. Brianna Stewart might get some buzz if they could put together a hell of a season. But I think Nafisi Collier has got it. That's a tongue twister right there. Um, 1 second. Although Asia Wilson is not leading the MVP race like she normally does, she's leading the race right now for Defensive Player of the Year. Um, Prohibitive favorite at the moment. Nafisa Kali is also there. Alana Smith. Damn, Alana Smith is in Defensive Player of the Year conversations. That's crazy. Shout out Alana Smith, man. Um, wow, okay. Rookie of the Year. Like I said at the beginning of this, any other player in this class could do something incredible, and Paige is just gonna get all the votes. She's the prohibitive favorite right now. Paige Beckers out of Dallas. They are one of the worst teams in the league at 4-12 on the season. So if they get Rookie of the Year buzz, that's something. Kiki Ariafin. I remembered how to say it this time. Pat myself on the back right there. Um, Surprising rookie for Washington. She is also getting All-Star buzz, which would be great for Washington. She's second in this race, and Sonia Citron, third in the race, also of Washington Mystics. So Washington's got some good ones, man. They got some good ones. I was high on Kiki coming into the season. I wasn't sure if the team was going to be good, but the team has been surprising. Um, Sitting at 7-8 on the season, so really good stuff from a very young team. Um, let's see here. And that looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it. This is sixth player of the year, all this and all that. There are some other things here. Stephanie White is projected to win um, Coach of the Year for the Indiana Fever. Um, right now, they got the Lynx winning the championship at a plus 340. Pretty good. Jonquil Jones, Defensive Player of the Year. She was my pick along with Aaliyah Boston. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, but she's in this conversation here. Um, Angel Reese, most improved I had. Right now it's going to Aaliyah Boston, which I won't be mad about either. I like Aaliyah Boston a lot. Um, yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Let's talk about Washington while we're here, while we're talking about their rookies. Again, they haven't put together the most complete season. They're a very young team. Got some veterans, but the in these wins, um, there's some promising stuff here. They've won against Connecticut, they've won against Dallas, and they put the hammer down against Minnesota in their last game. Shakira Austin, 19. Kiki Arifin, 11 rebounds. Austin had 19 points. Melbourne with 5 assists. Their assists aren't great looking at it here, but their rebounding and their points look great. You got a Sykes 32 in here. You got a Sykes 28. I'm just recalling some of these games. Um, really promising stuff, man. I'm very hopeful for this team. Um, Coming into the year, I wasn't, but looking at them, I mean, if we go look at Kiki's stuff right here, Kiki's averaging 13 points, 8 rebounds, almost 9, 1 assist. Not too many steals, but pretty good stuff, all things considered. And then we go look at Sonia Citron here. Um, let's see. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Really good stuff. They have a listed as a guard, correct? Yeah, guard. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Standing at they don't have her height here. I thought they did their height. They're playing well. I can't be mad at that. They're playing well. The last team that has been really kicking some butt recently, the Seattle Storm, man. Seattle Storm. I didn't have them anywhere near this good, and I thought about it, and I was like, maybe they could be okay. And then they started off the season low rocky. They had 1 loss, 3 wins, and then 3 losses. And recently, since the beginning of this month, they've put together a great month. Um, Started off with a loss to Vegas, and then they won 3 straight against Dallas, the Mercury, Minnesota. They lost to Golden State, which is a young team. They probably running them out of the gym a little bit, so it was fine. Um, and then they've most recently won in Los Angeles against the Sparks, won in Las Vegas against the um, Aces, won at home against New York, and then they lost to Indiana because of a Aaliyah Boston career high points. But there's nothing to be ashamed. Nothing to be ashamed of. In these wins here, let me make sure I'm going to say her name right because I always get it confused with his sister. Nneka Ogwumike, been balling. There's a 26-point game in a 25-point game, 26-point game. Really good on the boards too. There's a 5 rebound game, 12 rebound game, 6 rebound game in here. Skylar Diggins, no longer Smith, just Skylar Diggins, cooking it up, being a real vet for this team. Um, six six assists, 6 assists, 7 assists, and in a lot of these games. If we go look at her stats here, if we can pull them up real quick, 18 points on the year, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steal, or 1 steal. Really good stuff. I've never been the biggest Skylar fan. I think she's. I said this before, and on another platform, I said she's an acquired taste. Um, she's not the easiest to get along with, but man, does she give a fuck about basketball, and I can respect that. Takes care of her body, does all the right things, and then to be in an environment like Seattle with Nneka, who's also been around the league, knows what to do, is a pro's pro. I think there was some buzz coming out of Seattle that Nneka should be in MVP conversations. She might sneak in there if they keep this up. She might sneak in there. To end the video here, talk about Nneka's stats. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, or 1.5 steals. That's where I got the 5 from, and then 2 assists. So yeah, that is the WNBA wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed. Um, Again, I know you guys like this WNBA stuff. From everybody that came over from Reddit, welcome. I hope you stay. Hope you enjoy your stay. And we're just getting started with the WNBA stuff. There'll be more consistent stuff in the future. Tonight's the NBA draft, so tomorrow's video will be NBA stuff. Probably some more NBA stuff as the season goes on here and there. But WNBA stuff will be sort of more to the forefront for the rest of the summer. I hope you guys stick around. Hope you guys enjoy it. It's a bit of a longer video, but hit that like button, subscribe, comment. It's all good. It's all good stuff. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I will see you all next time. Cheers.